Hey everyone! Do you like to do DIY projects? Have you ever wanted to make a mosaic but didn't know how? I'm a big lover of art, and many people think that making a mosaic is difficult, but in reality, it's just time consuming. I've painted in the past, done all sorts of things, but this is the first mosaic I've ever had the chance of making. I thought it was hard, but in reality, I did find that it was just time consuming. So today, I'm going to take you step by step, all the supplies you need, all the instructions you need to hopefully you can make a really cool masterpiece of your own at the end of this video. The first step in the whole process is brainstorming. You need to think what you want to make a mosaic of, a design or a picture. And secondly, you need to think what you're going to be doing your mosaic on, what surface you would like to use. For example, I did a wave on a glass surface of an old window. The second step is getting all of your supplies that you need. Really, it doesn't require that many supplies, depending on what surface you use. Obviously, that's your background is what you need originally. You obviously need glass. I used sea glass because I wanted to give it a beachy feel. This is the glass that I used. I purchased packs of that. You need glass, you need glue for your glass. I picked glass and bead glue to glue your pieces on. And lastly, you need a grout or an epoxy is what I used to fill in the holes in between the tiles. Depending on what you want, depends on what you're going to use. Next is the process of actually doing this. First, you need to make sure your surface is completely clean and dry and ready to go. And once that's set and once that's done, then you can start by putting an outline. So I used a dry erase marker to draw the outline of my wave so I could get a good idea. I mean, you're welcome to just wing it if you're super artistic, but I didn't personally trust myself to wing it. So then I just went about picking the colors that I wanted to use and laying out the tiles throughout the outline of my wave. So it's like putting together a puzzle, but it doesn't fit together perfectly, and you can make it fit however you want. I left bigger spaces in between my pieces because I bought little tiny shards of a silvery blue shiny glass to make it more stand out because I'm going to be hanging mine outdoors. So that's what you need to do next is lay it all out. Once it's all laid out, you can take your glue. It's easiest if you pick up one piece at a time, put a very thin layer of glue on it, and stick it back where you picked it up and how you want it down. So after everything's laid out and you like the way that it looks, I would give it at least 30 minutes to help the glue dry before you do grout or epoxy, whatever you're going to put in between the tiles. Grout is usually what you use to fill in tiles, but I used an epoxy, which is a clear substance that hardens over time because I wanted a more stained glass effect. Grout is sandy and it fills in the holes completely and you can't see through it. So I picked the clear route, but it's completely up to you and what look that you're going for. Using either of them, it's really important to read all the directions on the package. So after 30 minutes is up, you're welcome to start doing your grout or epoxy following the instructions on the package very closely. After you put that on, I would recommend letting it sit overnight to make sure it's dried completely. After it's dry, your project can be revealed, it's finished, and it's really not as hard as you would think it might be. Really can be broken down into 3 simple steps, you know, the brainstorming, the actual making of it, and the reveal. So I hope that you all have gotten a good idea of how to make a mosaic and feel comfortable that you could go out and make one of your own. So go get creative.